New qualifying procedures in place for Cup for 2025, and I fixed the Championship Racing Cup. Talk about it next. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Professor Lars. This is Hitting the Wall Racing. Do all the liking and subscribing if you could. I would appreciate it. We are up 20 subscribers since we hit our goal of 200, trying to get to 500. So NASCAR came out today with some new procedures for qualifying. If you remember in 2020 when the pandemic hit, a lot of things changed. They changed practice. They didn't have any practice, and they kind of kept that up after the pandemic because they kind of like the idea of drivers going out there and driving whatever they brought. And, you know, it made for some great racing and some not so great racing. So they brought up some new procedures for practice. They brought back the 20-minute practice, and they have increased that now. And they have a new procedure for qualifying. If you remember this past year, qualifying was done in groups. Top 5 in each group went on to a second round, and then they had a qualifying round in the second round where the pole position and the second place was determined. But then if you were in Group A, you were on the inside. Group B, you were on the outside for the rest of it, and the rest of the field was set by time. Well, that has since changed. And of course, I'm getting all my information from NASCAR.com. So here are some of the new qualifying and practice procedures. On the standard tracks, which are your 1.5 mile tracks, there'll be a 25-minute practice in groups. So they've increased the time for practice. It was 20-minute practice. Now it is 25, and they're keeping the groups for practice so that there's not so many cars on the track. Kind of keeps down on accidents, having to go to backups, things of that nature. Groups and qualifying order are determined by a metric. So 70% based on previous race finish by owner, and 30% on owner points position. Best scoring car goes to Group 2. So in Group 2, you got more rubber on the track. You get a better feel of what your car's going to do from the beginning during the race and qualifying. Qualifying will be 1 lap, 1 round. So qualifying is now based on time. There's no longer 2 groups for the 1 to 1.5 mile tracks. Short tracks, there'll be a 25-minute practice session in groups. Again, keeps down on accidents, things on that nature, having to go to backup car. Qualifying will be 2 laps and will be 1 round. So again, it will be based on your time. Super speedways will be a little different. They're kind of keeping the old qualifying format for that. Qualifying will be 1 lap in 2 rounds. Fastest 10 cars in the first round advance to the final round. Remainder of the field will be based on qualifying speed. So 2 groups, 5 from one group, 5 from the other. They'll go to the second round and they'll qualify from there to determine the top 10. And the remainder of the field will be based on the time from round 1. Road courses, there's a 25-minute practice for each group. Again, they'll practice in groups. A 20-minute qualifying session for each group. Multiple cars will be on the track, and there'll only be 1 round of qualifying. So from Group A and Group B, they'll both be out there for 20 minutes. Whatever your fastest lap is for those 20 minutes, that's where you qualify, and everything will be based on speed. As we all know, the new television contract kicks in this year, a $7.7 billion contract for NASCAR with Fox, NBC, TNT, and Amazon Prime. So where are we going to be watching practice and qualifying if you want to do such a thing? Well, on the Cup side, it's going to be a little bit difficult to find it if you don't know, but I have all the information for you. For Cup qualifying and practice, Fox will broadcast practice and qualifying for the Clash at Bowman Gray and the Daytona 500. Prime Video will broadcast practice and qualifying for the first half of the season. So after the Daytona 500, all qualifying and practice moves to Prime. Max and True TV will take over for the second half of the season. So even if NBC has the race, Max and True TV, they will bring that qualifying and practice sessions to you. Things have also changed for the Xfinity and Craftsman Truck Series. Of course, the CW has bought the rights to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Matter of fact, they brought all of the playoff races last year on the CW. So all practice and qualifying will be on the CW for the Xfinity Series. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, all practices and qualifying will be on Fox Sports. Of course, all the races will be on Fox Sports for the Craftsman Truck Series as well. So now that's where you can find all the qualifying and practice sessions for this coming year. Now you know the formats, how the tracks are going to work for each type of track for qualifying, and where you can watch. Now, there's been some controversy in the past couple weeks since Joey Logano won the Cup Series title in the playoff format. A lot of people are saying consistency should matter. The irregular season should matter. We shouldn't have a playoff. Personally, I think it's because of the person who keeps winning it. Possibly the team who keeps winning it, because they've won 3 in a row. Joey Logano has won 2 out of the last 3. I personally think it's Joey Logano. I think people don't want him to win it. He's not a very popular driver, except for the people that like him. I will even admit that. Some to his own fault. Some, as you know, he shouldn't. He doesn't deserve that. But same thing with Jimmy Johnson when the chase came around. He rolled off 6 championships, and people were saying, oh my goodness, we don't want him to win. Change the format. This is not right. He's got it figured out. Change the format. They did, and he won one in the playoff system. But that's neither here nor there. I have figured out the best way to determine a championship in the Cup Series. I am a fan of the old Winston Cup point system. But there were some flaws with the old Winston Cup point system. First of all, there were huge gaps in between the positions. They started out with 175 points and then went down 5 points from there. When the chase come around, they upped the amount so that the winner would have more points, and I get that, but there was a huge gap between first and second. And then I believe first through 5, you had 5-point separation. Then you had a 7-point separation between 5th and 6th, 3 points between that down to a certain position, and then there were 2-point separation. It was just very, very confusing on how the points were divvied out. There were some years that the playoff, or the points race, I should say, was pretty close. 92. That was the year I really got into NASCAR. I started watching about 89 or so, but that was the year I really got into NASCAR. My favorite driver at the time, Davey Allison, God rest his soul, he was contending for that championship at Atlanta. Got wrecked out by Ernie Irvan during that race. Alan Kulwicki, God rest his soul as well. He went on to win the championship that year. I think he won by 11 points over Bill Elliott, which was like driving car 11. Think about that. Anyhow, I love the old Winston Cup point system. Again, there were close races, but there were some years that the points race was over with 2 races left, sometimes 1 race. And it was kind of anticlimactic if somebody was out there dominating. And part of that was the huge gaps in points between the positions. So my take on it is, I think you should put a modern spin on the old Winston Cup point system. So here it is. Here's my take. All positions are separated by 1 point. First place points depends on how many cars are in the race. If there's 36 cars, which there are now more open positions, people can try to go for that. So if there's 36 cars, first place gets 36 points. Second place gets 35, and so on. As far as bonus points goes, in the old Winston Cup point system, you got bonus points for leading a lap and leading the most laps. I want to bring those back. Eliminate the stage racing. I don't like stage racing. A lot of people don't like stage racing. It kind of resets the field. Someone's dominating. Oh, well, we hit the end of the stage. Yeah, I get points, but now I lose everything that I worked for. So what I want to do is bring back leading a lap. You get 1 point for leading a lap, and you get a point for leading the most laps. This helps a dominant car if they don't win that day. If they get put back, let's say 5th place on a caution, and they come in, change tires, change 4 tires, other people change 2, get out in front of him. This would help out a little bit, especially if he dominated the race. But it also opens up the door to where somebody finishing second may have more points than the winner. And that's the risk you take with this type of a point system. So I think this point system is kind of a fair way to do it. You have the beauty that was the old Winston Cup point system, using a modern point system to implement those points. So there's my fix for NASCAR's playoff system. We go back to a Winston Cup point style with the modern points that we use today. One position, 1 point is the way I think we should go, and bring back the bonus points. Leave a comment below if you like this point system. Even if you don't like the point system, tell me I'm wrong. Call me an idiot. I really don't care. But I think this is a really, really good solution for NASCAR's playoff problems. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like what I'm doing overall, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Again, we're on the push for 500 subscribers. We are at 220 as of right now. Got 20 more since we hit our goal of 200. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing to the channel. And we will see you in the next video.